What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Professor Anime. Welcome back to another video on the Otaku A-Team. This is day 7 of the 12 days of anime that we are doing on the channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over my top 5 picks of anime that I personally enjoyed the most of this year. So, without further ado, let's get this started. Now, before we begin, I'm just going to give a little disclaimer as to how I'm actually going to go about this video. This is going to be my top 5 picks of anime that I enjoyed the most out of this year. This is not a top 5 ranking video. All of these series that I'm about to mention are in no particular order whatsoever. I'm just basically naming them off the list. So, yeah, now that you know that, let's get this started. First up on the list is Konosuba. You know, with Konosuba, I really wish that I did live reactions or reviews for this series when it was first airing back in the winter season of this year, because this series is probably one of the funniest series that I have seen in quite a while. The last funny series that I actually enjoyed and where I laughed out loud, so to speak, was Golden Boy. If you haven't seen Golden Boy, definitely recommend that series, especially with the English dub. Trust me, you won't regret it. But anyway, Konosuba is probably one of the funniest series that I have seen in a very long time. The series is great. I had a lot of laughs throughout the series, but the OVA is what I gave a 10 out of 10. That glorious OVA. Just keep in mind, if you haven't watched Konosuba, your favorite line of that series is going to be, yo. Just watch it. Next up, we have Boku no Hero Academia. That is right, Boku no Hero Academia has probably been everyone's most anticipated shonen of this year, or at least one of their most anticipated anime of this year, and it definitely deserved all the hype because it definitely delivered. And when it comes to Boku no Hero's manga, the anime studio who animated Boku no Hero Academia, Bones, did a fantastic job on animating this series and staying true to the manga. They pretty much adapted volume 1, 2, and halfway of 3 to a T. They really did, because the other half of Volume 3 is actually new material that will lead up into Season 2, and just from what I have seen when it comes to the last few chapters of Volume 3, Season 2 is definitely going to be hyped, and it really has me stoked for how it's all going to play out in Season 2, and I really want to get the rest of these volumes of Boku no Hero Academia that have come out lately. So there's a Barnes & Noble sale that ends in January, I believe in January 16th, that you know, you can buy 2 manga and then get 1 free. So, you know, if you want to support Boku no Hero Academia, definitely pick up these volumes because, I mean, they're good. Next up, we have Haikyuu. Haikyuu, man. Haikyuu Season 3 has definitely delivered this year, and I am just so happy that we have Haikyuu back. It's kind of disappointing that we only got 10 episodes this season compared to the usual 24 episodes that we got from Season 1 and Season 2 of Haikyuu, but regardless, I'm just glad that this series came back because it definitely delivered. And, you know, Haikyuu is just one of those series where you can have a smile on your face the whole way around. You really do, because you feel for these characters and you want them to win. But not only that, you can also relate to some of the teams that Kurasuno, challenges. You feel for these teams, and you also feel for the main cast of characters as well. And that is something that not a lot of sports anime tends to focus on. They usually just want you to support the main cast of characters. But in Haikyuu and very few other sports anime, they have you supporting, not only the main cast, cast, but also the other teams as well. It's almost like you don't know who to root for because you get attached to these characters so easily. But again, Haikyuu has just been amazing this year. I just really want a season 4 right now, but we're probably not going to get it in quite a while. But definitely, Haikyuu has been hype, and it rightfully deserves the name of Hype-Q. Next up, we have ReZero. ReZero has been a very special series with me, because the funny thing about ReZero is that, well, first let's talk about, the hype revolving around ReZero. The hype revolving around ReZero has just been tremendous, as of late when it comes to this year. It's almost like the hidden gem, so to speak, of this year, because not really a lot of people were talking about it this year, but then once it started airing, it just blew up, and everyone, and I mean probably everyone in the anime community, has fallen in love with this series, besides a few other select people, but it has been getting, a shit ton of recognition. It has been ridiculous as of late. And when it comes to me, when it comes to me with ReZero, it's just so weird, because if anybody remembers my history of ReZero, I actually reviewed the first couple episodes on my channel, and I just couldn't get into it. I really couldn't. ReZero, I don't know if it was probably Subaru that I couldn't stand, because it's kind of like he just came into this world and he's like, oh cool, I'm in a fantasy world, I'm gonna, just be happy. He's not freaking out compared to, what you would usually do when you were transported to another world. Subaru is kind of like that laid back character, and he doesn't really care. He's just happy that he's in a fantasy world, and I don't know if that's what, took me off. I guess I couldn't get attached to him in the beginning when this series was airing, and it probably didn't help that this series was releasing weekly, because again, I couldn't really get attached to the series. But after the hype that I saw on Twitter, everyone just been talking about it, I was like, you know what, everyone's having a good time with this series, I think I'm gonna give it another shot. And I ended up marathoning it from episode 1 to all the way up to episode 15. Episode 15 is what got to me the most. And I was like, wow, this is actually a very good series. Now that I can actually, pay attention to these sort of themes that ReZero is, springing about at me, and now that I can actually get attached to these characters, now for the fact that I can marathon it and actually enjoy it to a certain level, it actually kind of made me happy to, all aboard, get on the hype train regarding ReZero. So yeah, ReZero has definitely been something special for me regarding this year, and it definitely deserved all the hype in my personal opinion. And I can say that I'm now a fan of the series, and I can't wait for a season 2, whenever we get that. And finally, who can forget about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4? I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and it's based on a very old manga series, all the way back from, I guess, the 80s, I believe. And it's technically what kind of made shonen in a way, next to Dragon Ball at the time. And I definitely enjoyed Part 4 this year, because it has just been an amazing ride, and the last episode is actually going to air later this week, so that's definitely going to be a treat to check out. Regarding, the whole thing with Kira and all that, it's going to be a really cool fight at the end, and I'm definitely going to do a live reaction to that when that airs. But again, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4 has just been awesome this year. But I will say this, I don't think I have enjoyed Part 4 as, much as I did Part 3. I will say that, because Stardust Crusaders was just holy shit. And regarding Part 3 of JoJo, more people died in that series compared to Part 4 of JoJo. And I think I liked the matureness of Part 3 more so than Part 4, because Part 4 is technically a slice of life JoJo. It really is. And not a lot of whole people died in Part 4, and the first half of Part 4 was very slow-paced and episodic in the sense, but once you get to the later half of Part 4, it is just, it's awesome. It's awesome. It really is. So definitely I have been enjoying JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4 this year, and I can't wait for Part 5. Now, before I head on out of here, I know I gave my top 5 picks of the anime that I enjoyed the most out of this year. However, I do want to give a honorable mention to the anime that aired in the winter season of this year called Showa. Some people regard this as the anime of the season, in the winter season, and honestly, I can see why, because it's so different compared to the anime that you see nowadays. There's like no action in this series. It's all based on dialogue and storytelling, which is very, very interesting. Not only is it a historical drama series, but it's also a josei series, which is geared toward the woman audience. Of course, we have our shoujo series now and then that we get each season. However, we rarely get a josei series. It's very, very, rare that we see series like that nowadays. But yeah, the first half of Rakugo, Showa Rakugo, was very, very cool. I really did enjoy it. The first half is slow, I will admit that. However, the story starts to really pick up, and the storytelling is just so interesting. It really is, especially with the whole, plays that go about in the series. Rakugo, which is basically a Japanese form of entertainment. It's kind of like stand-up entertainment, kind of like how we have stand-up comedy, except without the comedy. I mean, sure, there's comedic elements regarding what story you are telling, but it's mainly just a Japanese form of storytelling. And it is very, very interesting. I really did enjoy the series, and I didn't really think I would enjoy it as much as I did, and I really can't wait for Season 2 to come about in the winter season of next year. And I heard from a lot of other people that basically Season 2 is where the story really starts to pick up from there, and that's something that's going to be a treat. It's going to be very, very interesting indeed. But yeah, guys, I think that about does it for this video. Sorry if it was too long, but again, I mean, these are my top 5 picks of the anime that I enjoyed the most of this year, and I just really wanted to express my overall thoughts and opinions and overall enjoyment of these anime that I have listed today. But yeah, guys, that about does it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. If you want to stay up to date to our future content, definitely hit that red subscribe button below. And tell me in the comments, what was your favorite anime of this year? What would be your top 5 picks? Definitely let us know in the comments down below. This is Professor Anime, signing out. See you guys.